Hello, horse lovers. Welcome to Of Course a Horse and happy Thanksgiving. If you're like me, you might be looking for a holiday themed horse story to read right now. Whatever winter holiday you celebrate, you're probably going to be having the best luck finding some kind of Christmas themed horse story. But there aren't a whole lot of Thanksgiving horse stories out there. Well, I happened to do a search on Amazon and I found one that I really fell in love with. I got the Kindle version of it, so I don't have the physical book, but I wanted to give you a rough idea of what the cover looks like. It's a little um hard to hold it in frame, hard to fit it in there, but it's called The 6 Month Horse by Tudor Robbins. And it's unique in that, most horse stories, a lot of them anyway, have the main character wanting to get a horse of their own but having some obstacle to that, usually a financial obstacle. Well, in this case, the main character, Meg, is going to be getting a horse, but her problem is, will she be able to get the horse she actually wants? The story starts out with her having looked at several horses, and none of them are quite right. And she's ready to give up. She's going to be starting college soon anyway. She's like, I've had my heart broken because or she's thinking that she's had her heart broken rather because the last horse she really wanted failed the vet check. The vet's like, yeah, this horse has some issues. You're not gonna want to buy him. Well, her mom, who is very preoccupied with work all the time, really not there for her much, has found a potential horse for her. Her friend has a daughter who's offering to lease her a horse who is absolutely perfect. This horse could win any show you point him at. This horse could win the Olympics in his sleep. And Meg isn't too excited just yet. She's more afraid of getting hurt by falling in love with another horse, only for it to not work out. But she agrees because her mother says, I will go with you to look at this horse. And she doesn't really get to spend a lot of time with her mom, so she's like, okay, time with my mom, we'll do this. And it's something to get even more excited about because it's the week leading up to Thanksgiving. Well, doesn't her mom get told, oh, she's got to go away for work and she can't be there either to help get Thanksgiving ready or to go look at this horse? Meg's disappointed, but she knows how much her mom really wants her to go look at this horse whose name is Royal. And so she goes with her best friend Slate. Well, this horse, once she tries him, is everything that had been described to her, but she can't make herself love this horse. She's just not feeling it, even though she should be. There's nothing wrong with this horse. There's no reason not to, fall out of her heels for him. And this is where her best friend Slate reminds me so much of my sister Rue, in that Slate can read Meg perfectly. And Meg asks her, what do you think? And Slate says, I saw a perfect ride on a perfect horse, but I also saw zero chemistry between the two of you. Like, you could win shows on this horse, but is all you want to win shows, or do you want to actually have a connection there? Well, Meg is trying to figure out how to tell her mom she does not want this perfect horse when another horse walks up behind her, leans over her shoulder, and proceeds to eat carrot sticks out of her hand. This reminds me so much of something my own horse Bucky would do. He'll stick his head over my shoulder and he's absolutely food obsessed. And Meg turns around to look at this horse and she feels instant click. She knows this is the horse she wants. But her mom's not going to agree to this horse, she figures. This horse is underweight, he's scruffy. Turns out He's an off-the-track racehorse whose name is Major Disaster, although the name does not suit him personality-wise. He was accidentally left out of a field, which is how he came to wander over to her, and she leads him back without even putting a lead line on him. She didn't have anything with her. She just walks, and this horse just follows her. And again, this reminds me so much of my own Bucky, the way he follows me everywhere. And she's like, I have to have this horse. I don't care if I never win another competition. I just have to have this horse. Well, not only is her mom probably going to take one look at this horse and be like, no way, because, like I said, he's scruffy, he's underweight, he doesn't look like the kind of horse anyone would want. But not only that, the lady who has the property with the horse on it can't even let Meg ride him to give him a test ride because she doesn't own the horse. Major Disaster, who of course Meg calls Major, is being kept there for a friend of the property owners. And she says, I can't let you ride him. I don't have that authority. I don't own this horse. So Meg is, of course, feeling really disappointed. And to make matters worse, the only way she's going to have a chance at this horse is by making her mom happy at Thanksgiving. She figures, I'll butter mom up. And her dad has even said it is so important. Your mom's been under a lot of stress at work. This Thanksgiving has to be perfect. The kind of Thanksgiving you only see in the movies perfect because everybody knows that kind of Thanksgiving doesn't happen in real life. And her chances of a perfect Thanksgiving are about to be ruined because her brother, who's a few years older than her, living on his own while being in college, has gotten kicked out of yet another place, broken up with yet another girlfriend, and there's a lot of tension between her and her brother Cam. Well, Meg is very much focused on doing everything perfectly, straight A's, trying to be the ideal daughter. Cam lets the wind take him where it will. He doesn't stress. One place doesn't work out? Okay, something better will come along, and it also drives Meg nuts that usually he's right. Usually, through what seems to her to be sheer dumb luck, things somehow work out for him, where he lands on his feet after whatever problem may come up. So, he's not at all fazed about getting kicked out of his latest place due to a breakup with his latest girlfriend. And he's like, okay, yeah, instead of because she has nowhere to go for Thanksgiving to get ready for it, he's like, okay, instead of hanging out at my place, we'll go to the family's cottage on this island. And so they go there, and he gets the place warmed up because it hasn't been used. And this is where we start to see that Cam does care about his little sister. He's a very interesting character. He cares about he gets the heat going, even though it means going into the cold, dark basement because the power is out. And he offers to make her hot chocolate, which she yells at him, says, I don't want your stupid hot chocolate. You're basically just ruining everyone's life by being such a, by not applying yourself. And you can tell this kind of hits him. Well, the next day, she actually tells him about the horse, and he's like, this is where the title 6 Month Horse comes from. He says, okay, are you gonna just forget this horse in 6 months? Are you gonna be okay with that if mom would say no? And she's like, no. No, this isn't just a 6 month horse. This is my lifetime horse. This is the horse that I've connected with already. I have to have him. And everybody's like, cool, let's go get your horse. She's like, okay, you're crazy. She's like, no, no, this will work out. And I really like how positive Cam is. He always believes things will work out. And that's usually why things do work out for him. So they bike out to see this horse, who has yet again wandered out of his paddock because somebody left the gate open. Well, Meg finds him and she runs into the horse's actual owner who rescued him from the track and is trying to find him a home. And she's like, please let me ride him. She rides this horse bareback, fits with him perfectly, and everybody can see she's connected to this horse. And so finally the horse's owner's like, yeah, okay, I will sell him to you. Problem now is convincing her mother. They've been gone to look at this horse, her and her brother, and they haven't gotten around to making Thanksgiving dinner. They haven't even gotten around to buying the groceries for Thanksgiving dinner because he screwed up and they had to move him out of his place so quick. The last place he was living at with his girlfriend. So now they have no chance of any Thanksgiving besides ordering pizza out. Well, for once, it's Meg who starts to feel a little hopeful. She finds a church handing out free Thanksgiving dinners, and they get some for the whole family, and it's really funny the way they stage it like they actually cooked it. They even put gravy drippings on the stove, making it look like they did the cooking. And her brother even got a bag of garbage from behind a restaurant with turkey bones and scraps in that, making it look like they cooked the dinner themselves. Now, they actually do end up having the perfect Thanksgiving dinner when their parents join them on the island. And this is one of my favorite moments in the story is where sometimes she's been trying so hard to be an adult, but sometimes the adult thing that can be hardest to do is to say, you know what, I can't follow my parents' views. I have to have my own viewpoints. I have to speak up and say, this is what I want in my life. And she finds the courage to say, you know what, Mom, this other horse you wanted me to get, I don't feel this with him. I don't feel a connection. But there's this other horse that I really do feel that with. And I love her mom's response. You can tell that her mom actually does respect her. And she says, you know what? You know horses better than I do. I trust your judgment. If you say that this other horse is the right one for you, we will get him. And it's made even more heartwarming because her brother, who didn't have to pay rent because he got kicked out of his girlfriend's place, so he didn't have to pay his part of the rent that month, he uses that money to buy that horse for her. So it is really a sweet family Thanksgiving story. And not only is her connection with the horse great, with Major great, but like I said, I love Meg's relationship with Cam. It really shows how a sibling relationship can be. Even though if you have a sibling, you know what it is to have a disagreement with them, to have opposing life views. And they really come together, and she learns a little bit from him. She learns to loosen up, to trust in good things coming her way more. And even though she considers her brother to be the goof off, she's the one who ends up learning from him. So I find it to be a really wonderful book, not just about horses, but about family. And I found it really to be perfect for this time of year because she obviously has a lot to be thankful for. And it shows families coming together and having the crazy, family situations we all have this time of year. It's relatable. I guess that's the best thing I could say about it is it's easy to relate to these characters. And to say, either that character reminds me of me or I know somebody like them. One other thing I want to say about this book is a prequel to the Island series. Read either the prequel or read the series. Do not read both, in my opinion. There's an excerpt from the next book at the end of this one, and I read that excerpt, and I'm sorry I did. Because if you read them together, it's too sad to know what eventually happens. That's all I'm going to say about it is I would leave the Island series alone and just read the 6-Month Horse. I really think that you'll enjoy it. Again, that's the 6-Month Horse by Tudor Robbins. I really hope you'll check it out. Like I said, I'll include the link in the description. And until next time, keep writing.